Welcome. We're not going to do a countdown. We're just going to get right into this, I think.
Are you recording?
I'm recording.
Okay, good job.
Yeah, the last 3 times I keep forgetting to do that. So this is real. First and foremost, welcome everybody to the PP1 podcast. It's probably the most popular podcast based on the Canucks power play. I think it's the only one based on the Canucks power play, which is, you're probably wondering, why do we have these guests here that probably have nothing to do with the Canucks? We're going to get to that in a second. We are proudly presented on the Dean Blundell Network. We are partnered with Summer Skates. Brady, are you good at being my Vanna White? Can you do that in the corner somehow?
Oh, wrong way.
Wrong way. There we go.
I need practice here. There we go.
We're working on it. Excellent.
Yeah.
So you got it down.
Skates.
And we've got 2 very, very special guests. I'm super, super excited to have a chat with them. David and Sarah Ayres. You guys might know them from hockey, from the sport of hockey. They jersey salesman? No.
Where are you going with this?
I don't know. I have no idea. So basically, about a year ago or so, Dave was called into a hockey game that everyone ended up seeing and became international news, I guess. And Sarah was in the stands, absolutely losing it on Twitter, and this whole story just blew up for the Carolina Hurricanes and the Ayres family. And I mean, it's been a story. Sarah, we had you on last year to kind of chat on your perspective of this whole, crazy situation that's gone on. And you guys just got back from, well, I've been chatting with you. It looks like you just moved into a house to add a little bit more crazy into this whole situation. But you guys were down in Raleigh and looks like down in Tampa as well for the last couple of weeks, enjoying what looks to be the greatest of times. Hanging out, and I would assume like a good luck charm for the Carolina Hurricanes. First and foremost, welcome, guys.
Thank you.
Maybe get into a little bit what's been going on lately.
Yeah, well, Sarah decided she wanted to go on a little trip. She was tired of the whole COVID thing. I'm sure everybody is at this point.
So selfish.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we had the opportunity. The Canes asked us to go down there and kind of ring the siren for Game 1, Round 2.
Yeah.
And I can tell you, I won't be allowed back on that siren ever again because I'm 0-2 on that siren right now. They've lost both. Actually, they've lost every single game that I've been there for a home game in Raleigh. So I'll be surprised if they even let me come back at this point. But it was fun.
Mm-hmm.
Nonetheless, going down there and being in those crowds again and seeing all the people that are down there and being able to kind of follow the team down to Tampa as well, which Sarah now wants to buy a house in Tampa.
I think a lot of people probably do. Why didn't they get Sarah to ring the bell instead? Like if you had a bad record, did they not maybe ask like, hey, we know like you did some stuff for us. We appreciate that. But could we get Sarah to do it?
I think it probably would have been a better choice, to be honest with you. Maybe next time.
There's always next time.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you're 0-2, but you do have that one win, that pretty important win. What was it like to be around groups and crowds of people again? I mean, still, most of us haven't experienced that, and I don't know how long now. I mean, was it different? Was it weird? Like, were you guys just enjoying it and soaking it up?
At first you were kind of anxiety ridden a little bit just because you haven't been in close contact.
Hey, I don't smell.
But it's you get used to it. I think it was a good solid day or two. And in the airports, you've got to wear your mask. On the planes, you've got to wear your mask anyways. But we drove to Buffalo, and I think Buffalo at the time was still not sure what the mask mandate was, kind of thing. So you didn't know when you needed one and when you didn't need one. And then Raleigh is pretty much, certain stores said you have to have a mask on. If you're fully vaccinated, you're good, which we're both fully vaccinated now. Florida was amazing. Like it actually felt really, really good to be around that many people. Like it a solid week. Once all of this stuff goes away, the mask mandate's gone away and we're all open up, I would say a solid week and people will be back to normal.
Yeah, everyone's going to be afraid. right away. That's like us. We went down there and you kind of hold your mask up to your face. Do I need this? Do I not? And eventually it spent more time in your pocket than it did on your face. But
still
just,
washing hands like crazy and sanitizer like
good.
crazy.
I haven't washed my hands in weeks.
We both had the negative COVID test after all that craziness. We still went and got our test done, and it was a negative COVID test to come across the border. So it goes to show, I guess, the vaccine works, especially when you're around, probably 5 games. We were there 5 games, and average about 20,000 people a game. So around quite a few people.
Mm-hmm.
So you said that you're going into businesses sometimes, and then they'll say, "Oh, if you're fully vaccinated, like you're good to go." Like, do you just is like honor system? You're like, "Yeah, I'm good."
That's pretty much it. Yeah, they're not checking cards or anything.
You can't really regulate that. Maybe get a tattoo on your neck that says vaccinated or something like that.
Stamp on your
A barcode.
Yeah, it's actually pretty smart.
I think the last time we had you on the show, I think there was maybe some talk about a Disney movie or potentially maybe in the works. I mean, can you talk a little bit more about that? What's that like? I mean, I love sports movies. What's it like to think that maybe there could be one about you coming out?
Yeah, there's going to be one for sure. Disney picked the writer. I actually spoke to 2 writers, and the guy that I spent the most time talking to didn't get the gig. It was the other guy who got the gig. So all I know is spent a lot more time talking to him, but he's done some pretty decent movies and stuff like that. So looking forward to getting rolling with that. We don't know anything else beyond the writing process. And to be honest, it's kind of in the dark a little bit about it right now. But they say once it picks up, it starts to go real fast. So once we get going, it'll be moving.
Excellent. Have you guys been watching the the new Mighty Ducks series on Disney Plus at all?
No, maybe the kids have.
The kids probably have. I think they've
stay
watched
away from
everything
that.
on it.
Yeah, me too.
I think in the movie there needs to be a car chase scene, or maybe just like Sarah, like her tweeting, like I've been waiting in the truck for half an hour. Dave's inside. We need like some of the real life stuff so we can all be like, I know that moment. I know that moment.
Yep.
It's gonna be payback pretty soon, though. She just takes random videos of me in sports stores or when I'm taking too much time. But I've got a lot of those videos.
Fill us in.
What's
something maybe
everywhere she goes, she takes forever.
This is a lie.
Maybe because I've seen videos. I'd like to hear a little bit more about this. I think.
Yeah, she's the angel we think she is.
Yeah, see,
no, it's all a lie. No.
Meanwhile, I'm the one waiting in the
persona I have on Twitter. It's my persona on you that I have on Twitter. I have proof, like valid proof. Where's his proof? No, he doesn't. He's all talk.
So, I remember last time we were talking to you, Sarah, you had sort of gone through like the breakdown of what happened during that day before inevitable happened and you were wearing, NHL colors. And I remember, like, do I remember correctly? There was some story about you guys went and got like hoagies at like a sub shop or something like that, like post workout. And then you went directly from there, ended up going right into a game after filling your gut with like a huge sandwich. Is that what actually happened? And if that's the case, is that in the movie?
I wish we had an hour's break between the sandwich and the him getting called in, but it was right when we got to the rink. They have this awesome little food kiosk, and we both got 2 massive Reuben sandwiches. The lady knows us well, so all we have to do is just give her a nod when we're standing in the line up there, and she gets our sandwiches ready for us.
Yeah, after 3 years, she was ready. She knew what we wanted at that point.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I crushed one not thinking I was going to have to play, and then had a pretty heavy leg day at like 2:30 in the afternoon that day because I thought, what, I'm not going to have to play tonight. Might as well just go to the gym. I was feeling good. Started putting some heavy weights on, and go from there to the rink. And I actually said to Sarah on the way down, like, oh, my legs are pretty tired right now. If I have to play tonight, I'm going to be terrible.
And it's how you know that too. You just kind of think about like it's not even going to phase you. We're thinking like it's one of those back of the head things, like maybe not maybe kind of thing. Like we've all had. Yours just happen to be on a grander scale. So,
but it's how it goes. Like, I know if I go and do a leg day or whatever, and we just go play baseball. Like we're going to play like beer league ball. If I have to run to second base, it's an issue rounding first, right? I mean,
for sure.
Oh, good for you,
man.
We that game was just one of those. There were just so many moments before that game where you look back and like, wow, we said this, and all of a sudden you're in the game, and just there's a picture of me holding up a jersey like right when I got half dressed, because Carolina was the first team out of the 4 teams that I had to get dressed with. Put my last name on the jersey before even knowing that I was supposed to go in the game. So it was just kind of one of those coincidences. They put the name on the back. I'm like, hey, can you take a picture of me, because this is the first team that's ever put my name on the back of an NHL jersey. And then 5 minutes later, like, hey, you want to put that jersey on because you're gonna go use it, right? So
yeah.
that was
Now
cool.
it's like, hey, are the pads tight? Or is the glove, is it strapped up properly? Are you good to go? You got a good stick ready to rock and roll.
The goalie coach followed me all the way to the ice. If you ever watch the video of that, there's the team's goalie coach. From the time I left the dressing room to the time I hit the ice, he was behind me, kind of whispering in my ear, okay, just stay steady, stay square to the puck. And I'm thinking in my head, I've been doing this a long time, man. I know how to do it. It's just whether I can put it all together when I'm out there.
I think he's just reminding you to do those things, like it, but like if he just talks you into it, you're thinking like, okay, those are the things I know how to do.
It's like having my dad in my ear when I was like 10 years old. You got to do this. You got to do this. So
that's everybody's favorite.
God, I know.
So I would imagine you'd have obviously some memorabilia from the game. I got to ask, like, what's your favorite kind of piece to cherish and look at and think back on?
Well, I have a hockey style. You can't see it. I have a hockey style with like my game use gear there, and I actually had my jersey hanging up there for a little while. But I have that, and I have the James Reimer stick. Was pretty cool. He was a huge help in that game, kind of sitting beside me and just kind of calming me down during the intermissions and stuff like that. And he was awesome. He signed a stick for me, and I have it here too. So just stuff like that. Rob Brindamore signed a bottle of wine. I'm not either, so
I have stopped myself several times to not open it. Like
I was gonna say, there's no water in it right now, and I wouldn't even know. So.
Yeah, it's grape juice. I'm not that.
That's funny. Did you get the game-winning puck as well? Sorry.
The puck is actually still in Carolina.
Really?
I didn't even see it when I went down there. We didn't even get a chance to see it, but they have it framed with a picture and a plaque, and it looks really cool.
They wanted us to bring it home, but the airport, it was just too. We'd rather have it couriered out.
Someone had like 4 carry-on bags, so it's not like we could bring the puck along with us.
It was your laptop.
So let's get back into the playoffs. This is like they're basically
playoffs.
They're playoffs. Yeah, we don't know what that's like over in BC. We're living vicariously through you. So you guys how did that work out? Like, did they were originally just calling you guys down for like one game, or was there kind of a plan on what was going to happen? Like, and then I guess first and foremost, Sarah, obviously you've got your passport now, so that's good.
Yes, I do.
And how did the flight go? Because I know
don't even.
Dave, were you there for her?
Smoother than last time.
You know what? Every time we've gone somewhere, there's always been some kind of delay. It's crazy. Even in Buffalo, I think Buffalo is the worst. We were 3 hours? 3 hours out of Buffalo this time. Missed our connection flight from Charlotte to Raleigh. Had to stop in Charlotte, get somebody that we knew down there to drive 2.5 hours to pick us up from Charlotte and drive us all the way back.
Yep.
So we didn't miss the game. And obviously, last time we were coming home from Raleigh last year, we got to Buffalo and we got snowed in, and then Sarah's parents had to drive all the way to Buffalo to pick us up in a snowstorm. So. I don't
it's just there's never smooth sailing when it comes to that stuff with us.
No.
I heard they don't even have all dressed chips in Buffalo.
They have all garden.
Exactly. Priorities, right?
Priorities. I've heard Buffalo's the worst, but not in relation to the airport. So it's good to know.
Yeah. We didn't really get to see the city, but the airport is a struggle there.
Yeah. How did that work? I mean, obviously, in my head, I imagine that you guys are just talking back and forth constantly with reps in Carolina and stuff like that. And was this something that was sort of just planned out? And hey, if we make it to this round, we're going to call you up. And what do you guys think about that? How does that break down?
Yeah, pretty much. I think we talk to the guys from Carolina all the time. All the PR guys. We've become pretty good friends with a lot of the guys on the team because when we're down there, they kind of take us around and show us the place, and we became really good friends with them. So. It was just basically that back and forth and say, hey, if you guys are coming down, we want you to ring the siren. The fans would love it, and of course we said, yeah, let's go. And we just got down there, and we weren't sure if we were going to cross the border, to be honest with you. But as soon as we showed them the Hurricanes letter, the guy actually said, okay, perfect. See you later. 3 minutes at the border, and we were across, and then the debacle of the flight. But we got there and we had a lot of fun, so that was the main thing.
And then you got to go to Tampa. So maybe it's none of our business. Did they kind of take care of everything for you guys down there, or what was the scoop? Or were you kind of on your own dime, or what?
Well, the crazy thing with the flight thing was because so many things got canceled last year for us because of COVID. We have a ton of money in like credits for, and you can't get the money back. So it's like it's just sitting there. So we had to go like Delta, American Airlines, United kind of thing, like switch a whole bunch of them up. But we flew down there, and they were the ones they set us up with tickets and stuff. The first night in Tampa was really cool for the game because we were in amongst all the fans, and we actually had Carolina fans right behind us. And I said to Dave, I'm like, I'm not going to stand up and scream. I'm not wearing Carolina colors, just because you know what it is like when you go to a different rink kind of thing, right? So, and then as soon as Carolina scored the first goal, I stood up screaming as loud as I possibly could. And so never fails. And then the second night the second game we were there, they gave us the owner ended up going home, so they gave us his tickets to go into the suite kind of thing and sit there. Slavin's wife was there. There was another wife, I don't know who she was. But it was really cool to see the game from that side. And the Tampa fans they're crazy. It's really, really cool. Like, they're not like Toronto or Boston fans. Like, it's just for the most part, they're really well behaved. Like, and what's that?
So what are those fans like?
You know those fans when your team coughs up the puck and they boo you and tell you you're terrible, you suck?
Yeah.
You don't get much of that in Tampa. I think they have their backs for the most part.
Yeah, they cheer. And the same thing with Carolina, though. Like, their team got scored on. 2 seconds later, they're cheering their team on. Like, it's just, we're not used to that.
Totally different fan bases, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Obviously, both passionate. Toronto is very passionate, but you'll hear them chirp their team more so than Carolina and Tampa. They're passionate. They want to win, but they're there to help their team out, not so much degrade them at times.
Yeah, but the thing with Toronto is too, it's generations of Leaf fans, right? Like, we're going off of our dads and some of moms and stuff like that, and their passion for the game, where it just like kind of gets handed down to you. So we kind of take their anger on, I think, a little bit when it comes to all that.
I've got a question here. Chris Phillips had asked, and I'm only asking as a favor because you don't actually have to answer this, Dave. If the Toronto Rock ever needed an e-bug, would Dave do it? First of all, would you even be at a Toronto Rock game?
I used to go to the Rock games all the time, but here's a little.
You're an ass, Ryan. Of course I would.
Here's a little story that maybe not a lot of people have actually known. But when I went to Saskatoon last year, the both of us went out there. I actually dressed for practice for the Saskatchewan Rush as a goalie. And we've got video of that.
Oh, yeah. It was really cool, actually. Nice. He did really well.
I did. And it was funny because I'm friends with the GM coach, Derek Keenan. He's an amazing guy. I used to work with him. And they started throwing muffins at me. I'm like, is that all you got? Like, let's see what you got. Like, rip it at me. And, I'm just sitting there kind of putting them away. And sure enough, Derek comes up and, he's retired in the Hall of Fame and just rips one over my shoulder. And I basically just shut up at that point. But I love it. I think I would be a lacrosse goalie in a heartbeat. I would do it in a second.
I've seen and I've tried playing goal in lacrosse, and I can't unwrap my head around the fact that I feel like an upside down triangle wearing all that gear. And I feel like somebody has to do is go low and it's in. Like, I'm not stopping it. So, kudos to you.
I got the advantage, right? Because I'm used to the pucks coming off the ground. So anything low, I'm good. Anything over my shoulder when they're shooting up high, they might get me. I'm sure. I'm only 6 feet tall, so that's not a big lacrosse goalie.
I have a question. When you were out in Carolina and Tampa, do they carry like in-house e-bugs as well? And did you get a chance to meet any of those guys? Is that a thing, or
regular season they do?
Not this year. Not since COVID hit. They haven't had any emergency goalies. They just carry their extra NHL goalies or AHL goalies for that matter. But last year I met the Carolina e-bug for a split second when he was leaving the rink, just a younger kid. But
I'm you. I'm you. I'm the Canadian you. Like the Spider-Man meme, right? Where they're both pointing at each other like, I'm you.
There's an actual group, I think, I don't know whether it's Facebook or Instagram. I just randomly got added to it, but it's apparently all the emergency goalies in the NHL kind of just go back and forth.
No way.
send about 4,000 messages a day, and I couldn't keep up to it, so I kind of just muted it a little bit. It's just tough to keep up with all the guys. I know they're passionate about being the emergency goalie, but I just couldn't do it.
So where does it all rank on the scale of like crazy things to happen in your life? Like, I mean, there's skydiving, and there's, you know, jumping in the water with sharks, and then there's, you know, winning a hockey game in the NHL as an emergency goaltender.
Yeah,
I hit a home run in softball this week. So where does it rank in there?
Yeah, you know, I used to be a pretty good softball player back in the day, and I used to love hitting home runs. I thought it was the best thing ever. You feel so awesome after hitting a home run, running around. Actually, I don't know about you, but they stopped us at first base after a while. You hit a home run, you go to first, and you come back to the dugout.
Yeah. How boring is that?
It feels like you're being
you don't get to do the lap. You don't get to do the lap. So, you know, I guess being able to win a hockey game in the NHL and being able to be first star and do my own little victory lap out there is pretty it's pretty cool.
You probably didn't want to get off the ice, eh?
You know what? If you ever watch a visiting team player get like the first star or any star, they like take 3 steps and then turn around and get off the ice. And I thought that as soon as they told me I was the first star, I'm like, do I just go on and do a quick twirl and get off? I stepped on the ice and I'm going to go to the middle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Surprised you didn't go like end to end with it.
Yeah. It was fun.
So now things have opened up in Ontario. Things are getting back to normal, or it has opened up already, has it not? A little bit.
Very slowly.
So
Yeah.
serious question, and like this is more important than anything that's happened in the last while. How's the golf game for both of you?
So we golfed in Carolina at NC State Golf Course, which is beautiful, by the way. And it was super hot. So I was playing first couple holes. I wasn't playing so well. We were kind of paired with a father and son, and eventually by the second hole, they're like, "Are you David Ayres?" I thought so, and then we just kind of talk. So my game was thrown off a little bit, but then I started catching fire, and then Sarah hits the ball 4 times down the fairway, picks it up, goes back to the cart, starts texting, and I'm still playing my game. So her golf game, not so great, but I was doing well. But I got to get back. I usually golf 3-4 times a week.
Yeah.
And someone doesn't like that, but
Doesn't hurt.
I mean, it's only money, right? It's only.
Well, this is it. And a membership. How do you not go when you got a membership, right? Like,
I don't think it's a thing of golfing 3 and 4 times a week that bothered me. I think it was the thing of him not taking me those 3 and 4 times a week that bothered me.
Yeah.
So.
Well,
it's Sarah,
how
money
often
to buy
are you
her
getting-
balls, you know.
How often do I go?
Yeah.
What, like once every 2 weeks kind of thing, I guess?
Yeah. She can hit the ball. Like, she hits her drives between 200 and 250 religiously.
Oh.
So she can smash a ball. Her short game, little suspect.
You can't golf with us then because you'll outdrive me.
That's okay because you'll outcut me. So
She's on the green too in 6 putts. So I think
Yeah.
you might win that one.
oh yeah.
Oh, the old 6 putter, yeah, big fan of that.
You'll fit in well.
So just like your workouts, your golf games, you guys aren't that competitive. Then you guys don't.
There's been times we walked off the course because we were so competitive at each other.
Oh.
This is terrible. Let's go. So it was, it was a tough scene that day. But for the most part, we do go there and we're pretty good golfing together. We like it.
Did you golf in Tampa too, or no?
I wish.
Oh, I wish. It would be way too hot for that though. Like it was just you stepped outside the hotel and you were like drenched in sweat. It was beautiful but gross at the same time.
Have you
Like,
seen the
just-
power scooters in Tampa Bay?
Oh god.
The what? Sorry.
The power scooters, like the electric scooters.
Oh
guys
yeah,
have
we
them
have
there?
them here now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
they're
do
awful.
have them in
We're
BC.
trying to
Yeah,
ban
like
them.
the-
We're breaking ankles.
No, they always say there's a lot of accidents.
Yeah.
There. We walked by on the first night, and I said to Sarah, "I gotta try that. I have to go on those things." She's like, "No way, no way." The next day, she's firing around the whole city. Let's go scooting. Let's go scooting all over here. Going to the aquarium. Going everywhere.
Oh,
So
yeah.
they're so much fun, but people are nuts on those things. They don't hold back, and they cut in front of cars and they're hopping curbs. And it's
Oh,
crazy,
yeah.
but I want one.
Brady, have you done that out in Vancouver? No.
Nope.
No, we
You gotta-
we got
you gotta
we
get
were in a
out
weird
there and
spot.
do
They
it.
did like the e-bike thing for a little while, where they were like they tried to implement the e-bike thing. So everybody did it, and then by the end of the summer, they were like they abolished the whole thing, and then it was like
Oh,
scrapped, and
wow.
then they signed like a 3-year deal to
The scooters.
have the scooters set up, and so people are riding the scooters. All of a sudden, the emergency rooms are full with broken ankles and stuff, and then they're like, I think we need to stop the scooter thing too. Like it's just
It's funny
ridiculous.
though when you think about that. I've coworker of mine. He's like 76, and
Big scooter.
big scooter. No, like he's needs to get like a hernia surgery or something. So he's been in pain for some time. But there's truth to the whole scooter thing, because if you get injured on a scooter for whatever reason, all these people that have been getting injured on scooters have been kind of like jumping the queue to kind of get their emergency surgeries or whatever. I said, Al, his name's Al. I said, you know what? I'm like, just, park the Audi at home for the day and go get one of those $5 scooters. And I said, it's going to suck, but you're going to get your surgery a lot sooner. I can't do that. I said, hey, man, I'm just giving you an idea.
Just laying in the bush.
So sorry.
Yeah, Ryan's actually, he's a life coach and he's taking on new clients now. Yeah, so that's good advice, buddy.
It doesn't pay very well, as you can tell. So.
All right, back to I got some hockey talk for you guys. The Montreal Canadiens, Vegas Golden Knights, obviously two amazing goaltenders. So I got to ask. I mean, that's got to be a dream matchup for you to be watching right now, eh?
Yeah, both of those goalies are my favorite two goalies in the league. So
Really?
Oh, there you go.
Tough to see those guys go head to head, but also the saves that they're making and just the clinic that they put on as goalies is unreal. We're actually watching the game.
Yeah, if you see my eyes drifting off the games out there.
I don't have cable downstairs, so we're kind of relying on.
What's the update here? What's the score, guys? I turned
I
mine
think
off.
it's 3-1.
3-1 Montreal right now.
Oh, that's good.
Oh,
That's good.
Travis Green update for the Canucks fans. Travis Green is at the game.
Yeah.
I don't know why they said that, but yeah, Green's at the game.
So maybe
I think
scouting.
they were. Yeah, but they were congratulating him on, what was it, another year?
Yeah,
An extension
or something. Yeah.
Yeah, 2-year extension. Yeah.
Oh, is that what it was? Okay.
Maybe World Series of Poker. When's that?
I don't know.
Because, I guess Travis has been in there for a few times, so he's pretty hardcore poker player.
Oh, wow.
Luongo must be 10-town then too.
Well, most likely.
Yeah.
Well, you obviously put up a clinic when you were playing, and I know that you don't just show up as an e-bug. You're a qualified goaltender at that point. You practice with a lot of these guys. You see NHL shots on a regular basis. You know a lot of the Leafs who you're out there working with. But when you have to suit up and you're on the other side, I mean, you're meeting a lot of those guys for the first time, I can only assume. And how does it work when you're deep into the third period and you're just stopping everything? Are you getting chirped by these guys that you know? Or are you getting beaked pretty hard? Are they generally happy for you? Like, what's the vibe out there when that type of stuff's going on?
You don't even really think about it. I know I made a save on Hyman, and he just kind of looked at me and gave me almost like a smirk, kind of like, how could you kind of save me sort of thing on that one. And I think I kind of gave him a wink back. But he's an amazing guy. I've known him since he came in with the Marlies, and he's a great player, great guy. So you don't really notice it when you're on the ice. You're just stopping the puck. After the first two go in, you really have to concentrate on stopping the puck. The rest of the time, they're going to be taking the shovel and pushing you right off the ice at that point. So you just have to get going and start playing. But you don't meet anybody, really. I didn't meet anyone because I got out there halfway through the second period. So first time I met any of the guys on the team, they were at the door as soon as I walked out, just tapped my pads and saying, let's go, let's have fun. So they treated me like I was one of their guys, for the whole year as soon as I stepped out onto the ice. So that was awesome.
And when the moment happens and you get the call, are you like, let's go? Or are you like, oh shit.
I was ready to go. I was pumped. I think like all the years with the Marlies and the year with the Leafs and stuff.
I have goosebumps talking about it.
You just get you've always dreamed about getting. I honestly, when I started practicing with the Marlies, all I wanted to do was get into a game. I didn't care if I backed up or whatever, and I finally ended up getting to back up Bernier for the first time in Rochester. So I was pumped. I was okay after that year. I said, if I don't, come back to the Marlies or I don't play after this, I'm fine with it because I got to back up an American Hockey League game. And then I met Sarah, and she's like, well, I love the Leafs. And I thought to myself, well, I guess I got to keep playing now. So, time to lose 20 pounds and get back in shape to get back on the ice. But and then, you keep going and you get on, you get your chance to get on the ice in the NHL game. And it's like, you're super fun blocking. I tried to hold myself back, trying to get out onto that ice. And as soon as you see all the people, that's when you're like, whoa, okay, so this is real now, sort of thing. It's
right. Kind of a big
going crazy. Yeah, I've been on the ice many, many times, and it's been lit up the whole place. And you know, it's just silent though. You can hear everything, but all you could hear was people screaming, and the place was just rumbling under your feet. And that was the hardest part to get used to. And 2 goals go in, and you know, the Leafs could have the puck at their own hash marks in their own end, and people are yelling shoot. And I'm like, yeah, please do shoot. Like, I need to get warmed up a little bit more here. I need some more shots. So shoot from your own end if you have to.
So there's an opportunity coming up next season for, I'm assuming, your favorite player, Sarah, Jason Spezza, to potentially, if maybe this happens again, to get a shot on your husband, because now that he's back with the Leafs for a year, there's another opportunity coming, I'm sure. So what would that be like? Who would you be cheering for in that case? Would it, if it came again, which would be unbelievable? I don't think that has ever happened, but who do you cheer for? Breakaway, Jason Spezza, the guy beside you. Who do you got?
See, that's, you know what, Jason,
Because we've seen him get scored on from a few guys. So yeah.
I'm just, you know what, he's such a nice guy, and Dave went out there, was it last year? Last December.
Before COVID, right, Christmas.
It was Christmas.
Stop skating over Christmas.
Yeah, so they asked Dave if he'd come out and skate with Spezza or whatever, just because whatever. And I brought Braden, who's our middle son. Our middle kid. Sorry, I forget about them all the time. The middle kid to the game to watch the practice, and Spezza
said to me, he said, "Is that your son up in the crowd?" And I said, "Yeah." He's like, "Bring him down." And he brought him down to the side of the rink, and he met him, and he's like, "Hey, Braden, I'm Jason. Hold on a sec." And he runs back to the room, grabs a stick, and writes a little something on there, and signed it for him and gave it to him. And Braden was just kind of like in awe. He loved it, right? And that's just the way Spezza is. You know, I've talked to him many, many times on the ice, off the ice, and just an amazing guy. Loves the game and just loves to be around the locker room. And he's just such a great influence on everybody.
He's got the best laugh in the NHL. He's got the best laugh in the NHL, right?
He does. And he did have a shot on me in that game, by the way, and it went off the edge of my blocker and wide. So
nice.
next time I'm sure he will not miss. He scored many times on me in practice.
So you make that first save. Back to that game. You make that first save, and you're talking about, you know, all you could hear was the crowd when you went out there. Did you hear them, you know, cheering for you, or was it you were just so in the moment? It was just I was just gone all of a sudden.
It was like the biggest roller coaster of a crowd. I think it was just, as soon as I got in there was a buzz, because everyone was probably on their phones Googling, like, who is this guy? We have no idea who he is. And then the next, you know, Leafs score 2 goals and everyone's cheering because, you know, Leafs are going to come back and win. And then I started making saves and they're kind of booing the Leafs, but yet it gets closer into the third, and every time I make a save, they start cheering. So, and at the end of the game, I thought everyone was going to be gone. And then when I came out for the first start, 3/4 of the crowd was still there and they're on their feet. So I guess it just goes to show, first of all, what a crazy night it was, and second of all, how great Toronto fans are with their hockey knowledge and knowing, I guess, that that's a game that they're probably not going to see too many times over again, especially in their own barn. So for them to stick around and kind of give me a hand, I thought that was amazing. And so cool. It was great to be there.
Cool.
Guys, we have a few minutes left, but I wanted to take this time to just do a bit of a shameless plug. Maybe you guys could just tell us what's going on, maybe some new projects that you have going on, some new ventures, maybe some charities that I know you guys work with that are obviously near and dear to your heart. Tell the people where they can find you and where they can find the information they're looking for. So please just hit it and let us know what's happening with the two of you.
You go.
That's the Sarah project, which I'm actually wearing my Bug Life hat.
I noticed.
Yeah, you know what? It was just one of those things where I like to wear hats, and I thought I was just going to make one for myself because I've seen guys make their own hats just for fun. And I did, and I showed friends, and they're like, man, you got to sell those hats. People will love them. They're great. They're comfortable. They're kind of unique and kind of cool. And so we made 3 different logos, and we kind of just ran with it and had hats made and hoodies made and some T-shirts made. And Sarah takes control of all of that. She runs the website, backupgoalielife.com, and same with Instagram. It's on Instagram, backupgoalielife. So that's
Can you show the hat off close to the screen?
Yeah.
Look at that. That's a sharp logo. I like it.
This is one of the hoodies, actually. This kind of says Back Up Goalie Life, and then there's a number 90 in the corner. So
beauty.
It was kind of, I think we went through about 500 different logos, what to choose. And I kind of sent it to my buddy, who's the equipment manager for the Marlies. And I know he's got some pretty good logo style. And I said, Will, what logo do you like best? And so he chose basically these two, and so we kind of ran with it, and it's going pretty good. You know, people seem to love it, so it's good.
We need to get him hooked up with Kevin at Summer Skates.
Yeah,
we need the backup goalie Summer Skates.
So our sponsor
big good idea.
and the top, so I don't know if you can see that. But
Oh yeah.
Cool.
it makes these flip flops, so you can easily throw an eBug logo on there. Probably look pretty good.
That'd be awesome. Yeah, they would look great.
That's your next venture. We'll get you in touch, Sarah.
Appreciate it.
She's really good with the charity stuff. Like I did a lot with the National Kidney Foundation in the States and in Canada. I did stuff with St. Mike's Hospital, which is the place I had my kidney transplant done.
Mm-hmm.
And then Sarah's actually carrying on pretty good with the Kidney Foundation. I did the emergency kidney fund. We raised $100,000 in 3 weeks just to help people out during COVID. We've had kidney issues. So that was a great one. But Sarah's still going strong with a lot of the charity stuff, and she includes me when I can get there.
Cool.
Excellent.
I got one quick last question, if that's okay with you guys. Actually, it's kind of two questions. Back to the movie situation. Is it going to be specifically about you, or is it kind of based around that story?
No, it's fully about me and my life. It's
oh, awesome. Okay.
It's gonna start when I was a kid, how I got into hockey and how I kind of went all the way, and my kidney transplant and all the kind of
Wow.
stuff. The rebuild after that. So it's gonna be quite the process, that's for sure.
Right. So then my last question for Sarah then. Which Hollywood hunk would you love to see play your husband?
I said Jason Momoa, but he said no. So
Because the long
see, you know what? He
It's
doesn't
a dead
see
ringer.
it. He doesn't get it. So
And then in that case, Sarah, you would just play yourself then, right?
well, yeah. But then he said no. So but he wanted Charlize Theron for me, and he would play himself. So I think it's only
like
fair
her.
that it's
That's
like
good.
yeah.
There you go.
This is a
Charlize
tough
Theron
one.
and Jason Momoa. It's a match made in heaven.
That it would be interesting, but I mean, people would watch, and there, like I said, there has to be a car chase scene because any good movie has a car chase scene in it. So even if it's racing to the ring, I don't care. I don't care if you jump a curb or something.
Well, the Ballhawks peeps are saying that it should be Jason Statham that plays.
Yeah,
that plays.
we've heard
So
that
I mean,
too,
there
yeah.
could easily be a
I-
car chase scene in there.
That's true.
Yeah.
I gotta say it's gonna be Chris Pratt. Chris Pratt. I'm going with
He
Chris
won't
Pratt.
do it. He won't do
I
it.
was actually mentioning
He won't do it.
and it kind of went to him. Someone had asked him, and he said, "I'm not a hockey fan, so I couldn't."
Okay, wait. So you guys you've heard rumors and talked to people that maybe were or were not going to play. Who else has passed or missed on this role? Do we know who's eligible?
I don't know. I think James Corden is one of the producers on the film, and obviously he knows a lot of people in Hollywood. So at one point in time, he said Mark Wahlberg would be great to do the movie. So we don't know. Well, they have to.
He swears a lot, though. You can't swear in a Disney movie.
He was
We've had that
convincing.
Yeah,
And
true.
Bali, he could easily be you, eh?
That's
maybe.
true. That's true. Football and a
I
hockey.
could see it.
Excellent. Excellent.
It's
Good.
It's gonna be fun though. It'll be kind of cool just being on set because I'll be able to be on set and I think
Yeah.
I'll be in the movie as well on the ice, kind of as myself and a bunch of the parts too.
You'll probably have some sort of cool cameo too, I would imagine.
Yeah,
Like a little
I think
kind of very
they'll probably,
background, you know.
Yeah.
they're probably gonna throw me on the Zamboni. I can guarantee you that.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Carolina goalie coach, maybe.
Yeah, I'll be the Carolina goalie coach.
Stay square.
Paybacks. Yeah.
Dad, I
Wow.
got it.
What a cool
Good for
story.
you guys. That's great.
Well,
Yeah, that's awesome.
this has been awesome. You guys are out on the East Coast, so first and foremost, thanks for staying up late. I know you guys are in quarantine still, and you probably have a bit of a house to unpack as well, which usually takes, I know for me, 2 years approximately to be fully.
Yeah.
So
There's boxes packed.
There's
over here,
literally
so-
boxes if you look in the corner. So, but we don't need to bring that up because then I have to deal with that again, and I've got other projects on the go, so we don't need to get into that. Dave and Sarah, thanks so much for coming on. You guys are so cool. You're so fun. The story itself is great. I mean, we follow you guys, you know, whether it's on Twitter, Instagram, whatever. There's a lot going on there, but I think the neat thing is you're real people. We had this chat last year on just, you know, talking about our kids and, you know, and disciplining them and yelling on this, that, and the other. Like,
Kids are so selfish.
they are so selfish. So it's good to know that you're real people just like us, and you have the same shut up.
Yeah.
So we do appreciate it.
That's why she's laughing so hard, because you hit the nail right on the head.
But we live the same. Like,
Yeah.
we're all I mean, Brady, you're not yet, but I mean, you in a way, we all live. I mean, we've all been yelled at too from our parents. So it is an absolute pleasure to have you guys on. We do appreciate it. Stay safe out there, and we're planning. We're planning. Maybe if it works out next summer, the inaugural charity PP1 podcast golf tournament. So, I mean, we're not going to pay your way, unfortunately. So you'll have to just want to come
We'll
out.
probably still have credits out.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyways.
we got lots of great places, lots of wineries. Sarah, you're going to want to be here. My wife would be more than happy to take you around and show you all those great wineries. So,
I'm up for
and
that.
I got a
golf
buddy
and
that
beaches.
works for Vancouver, the Canucks, so
Oh, yeah.
it'd be awesome to come see him. He's
there you go. So we'll make sure that that somehow happens, and you know, maybe we got to do a tradesies. Maybe send over some summer skates. You give us a hat, and we'll send you some swag your way too. So
Sounds
we'll
good,
figure that
yeah.
out. So we're all decked out. Either that, or you'll end up having your own e-bug summer skates, and you'll be too good for us. So. So anyway, thanks so much, guys. And like I said, stay safe, and I'm sure we'll be talking to you again.
Awesome.
Thanks
Thanks for
a million,
having
Thanks.
See you guys on the big screen.
See you later. Okay. So, Brady, it's been a while.
Yeah.
Welcome
Back
back.
in the booth. Back
Welcome
in the
back.
booth. What's up? What's
A lot of
up?
fun. Should we talk like hockey? Should we talk Canucks maybe?
Oh, we could.
I mean, we could. So
I think we quickly got to mention the whole hat situation here, though.
yeah, that is kind of random for whatever reason. I mean, of all teams too.
Can I tell
Yeah.
the story first?
No, I don't care.
I'm a huge Mac Miller fan. And I actually had, you know, his last two albums engraved on the back of my hat.
You are a dick.
So I'm not sure why Brady's wearing his though.
Brady is a Roberto. And I feel like these are the opposite stories. That are,
Oh,
I'm actually so Brady 100% is the Mac Miller fan.
in case you didn't know,
If you didn't already know, but you know.
everybody knows.
true listeners already know this.
Yeah, the real ones know. It's
The real ones, our day
This-
ones know this.
This is just a Pittsburgh Pirates hat for me.
It's just.
Because it came from the final days at Jersey City, and it's just I'm running out of
It was like when Barry Bonds came into the league. You're like,
I'm running out of 5950s basically is what's happening, and now I'm down to the Pittsburgh one. I'm sure Brady has a win.
It's a freaking wicked hat, though. It's
they're
nice.
comfy, yeah.
It's fresh. It's fresh.
So
I love it.
Neat.
So I want to get into something before we talk about hockey. I played on your company ball team this week.
Yeah. There was a big baseball game on the week.
This is a big deal. In case you guys are wondering, there's nothing better than a good fitted. Absolutely.
Strap in for this one.
Yeah. So here's the thing. I've played slow pitch and for a long time, whether it's been super rec or semi-competitive on our hops team, where it's a fairly competitive team, but still rec.
Yeah, we're always good enough to win the B League.
Yeah. So we've had this chat. I consider myself pretty decent at baseball. Monday was a special day for me. Seatbelts on, folks. We're about to take a ride. I have never hit a dinger over the fence. I know. Look at this body. It says the babe on this shirt. I'm the babe. I'm freaking El Bambino pointing. I've never hit one out of the park. I hit the fence a bunch of times. Monday was a different day. Took the first pitch. Wasn't quite where I wanted it. Next pitch. Absolutely laced this thing. A rope. Center field. Normally I'm hitting those things left field. Center field, middle fence, because it's tiered. It hit a tree. My first dinger.
Way back.
Congratulations.
It was a moment I won't soon forget.
There's a big field too. I think it's a decent
field.
I feel like it's 265.
Whatever it is, that sounds great.
That's pretty good, yeah.
And then I thought that was going to be my night. I thought that was it. That was going to be, did I bat flip? It's E-League, so if I bat flipped, I probably would have had my ass kicked by about 5 people. So there's no way that I'm doing a bat flip.
No bat flip. Henry can confirm it was a legit home run.
Yeah, Ted was there.
And I'm pretty hard on Ryan when it comes to sports. And
Very
it
hard.
was a very, very legit. He had a hell of a game. He crushed it out in the field too. There was all sorts of catch with sun in his eyes.
So
he
that was
up
the
there
thing.
with the double glove and
So
hat.
wait. So can I borrow your hat for like 1 second? Don't worry, I won't put it on. So it's Kelowna, super, super sunny. Well, the last like 3 innings, the sun is like right in my eye. I forgot my sunglasses. Actually, I left them in the car because it was pouring rain. I'm gonna hold up like this. So I've got the hat up like this, like right in my eyesight of the sun. And I'm like kind of moving, figuring out where I'm gonna need it to be. There you go. Where I'm gonna need to be if it gets hit my way. I'm out in left field. Sure enough, bro, jacks one left field, and it's high. I mean, if it's a normal day, I'm catching this thing 10 times out of 10.
Pop fly.
Pop fly, like routine.
Can of corn.
Routine, can of corn, no biggie. The sun makes things interesting. There was about 3 drop balls in the outfield that game. There was one in the infield. Like, you couldn't see. It was both sides were getting decimated by the sun. So this one I timed, and I could see this thing clear as day. And I'm thinking, there's no way I'm going to miss this. And it's just like perfect. And then I realized, holy crap, I might actually get this because the sun's kind of, I'm trying to make sure so I get in close, come in, right to the side, snow cone that mother, right on the end. Everyone on both sides realized this guy was the real deal.
It was actually super dangerous, and I thought maybe you were going to get hit and maybe...
An inning later, I almost got line drived in the temple because I couldn't see the ball, so I could have easily lost my life. So everybody thought I was an idiot after.
Oh, good call, Brady, adding that last topic.
So
you like that?
Needless to say, so my ball career might be elevated. I've been digging my golf green this week. A lot of rocks have been taken out, so my arms are just like freaking like monsters. So expect a few more dinger stories throughout this early summer season. I know you guys are all waiting for it. So yeah, thank you. Good work, Hank. I appreciate that. So this is just me being me. This is just me being me.
You're killing it, bud.
I feel like I'm killing it, and all I can say is thanks for everybody that supported me. This has been a long, long road to get here, but I do appreciate it. So, but you know what? I just wanted to get that in. We do need to talk about some hockey. There's a draft coming up. Real, and so far, the Canucks have the number 9 draft pick. Brady, first, are you thinking they trade it? Are you thinking they keep it? What's your feeling on
Well,
this?
first talk about the rumor, Brady.
What rumor?
I think this rumors came up a little bit ago. Buffalo, Sam Reinhart. Buffalo keeps coming up today. Sam Reinhart pretty much figured out there's no all-dress chips in Buffalo. He wants out to the West.
No all dressed just in this shithole.
No, there's not. So he's done there. He's had a good 45-point season, led the team in points. He wants to come back home out west to Vancouver. And there's just been some, kind of rumors floating around about the value of that 9th overall pick and if that could potentially be enough or part of a package deal to maybe acquire a center/winger in Reinhart.
So is he like the new Corey Schneider for the 9th pick kind of thing?
I mean, it could be. I mean, that trading that 9th pick's worked in the past. Does it work again? Not sure.
Go back to the well. Is it good to be going after all the homegrown guys? Like, is this a totally different situation than Jake? Like, are we going to be getting a bona fide guy that's going to continue to produce? I mean, they're different players. Don't get me wrong. But are we going to be getting like the Sam Reinhart that we have been seeing, or are things going to tail off? Are we going to get like nosedive Louis Eriksson type of production? So like he's still super young. He's what, 25? I think
he's 25 years old. Yep.
Right.
He's 25 years old. Collected 25 goals and 40 points through 54 games. Yeah. You have to think he did it on the worst team in the league, and Jack Eichel. Missed the final 33 games of that season. So he was doing it on his own in a sense too.
Right. So, and I mean, again, he'll be, if he does come here, providing that it's not an awful trade, he's going to be a fan favorite. Clearly he's got the hometown crowd behind him. Is that a distraction? I don't know. It's Vancouver's such a finicky market. Like, I don't know.
Yeah. It has worked in the past, bringing a guy home. Yeah. Sometimes that's what you need for a career rejuvenation or a recipe for success.
Sure.
Other times it happens to like a guy like Jake, or maybe even a guy like Cam Neely.
Now Jake started here, to be fair.
Yeah, Jake, but
Yeah.
you're starting here, and you've only known here, and you really haven't left home to sort of spread your wings and grow.
Right.
Now, I mean, a good player is a good player, and it really doesn't matter, I think, where you're drafted at that point.
Right.
But what do we know for salary wise? What Reinhardt's going to be making over the next little bit here?
So he's an RFA, right?
Oh, Brady, you're muted if you were going to talk.
Yeah, Reinhardt, I believe, is at 5.2. And I mean, I think there's conversation about him landing kind of in between on a re-up, probably in the 6 million range. Maybe if the Canucks were lucky on a hometown discount, maybe something like a in between Bo Horvat or a Brock Besser sort of deal.
But is he going to get a hometown discount though if he's a
I don't
RFA?
think so. I think you're paying the premium
You're banking.
You're paying
he's also demanding out though, right? So I mean,
so they're playing that angle, maybe like, hey, you want to. But at the same time, he could play anywhere else and probably get that money too, right?
How much do you think he caps out at? What do you guys think? A guy like Reinhardt.
What did he finish? What was his cap hit? Was 3.6. What was the actual dollars?
5.
He's not going to make less money.
Was it?
No,
5?
he won't make less. No,
not going to make less money. So Brady's probably right. You're probably looking at somewhere between
6.5.
Probably going to make 6.5 or something like that, right? And he's probably going to want like a 4 or a 5 year deal. And we're talking about a guy who's already 25. You're paying, in my opinion, a premium because a 9th is a good pick. You've increased your lottery odds to a significant amount when you're picking in the top 10. You're paying a premium for a player that is a good player, but I don't know if it's something that I would be willing to walk away from. Maybe if the salary was in a better state, you're walking into already team controlled years would be really good. Like say he had, signed his previous deal and he was making 3.5 or something like that. And we were collecting those years of Sam Reinhardt's salary.
Yeah.
I would be more inclined to consider making it. But for me, and I know everybody's a little bit different, I think you're going to get a good player at 9, like a player who's instantly going to step in and be.
I'd hold
this,
personally.
Yeah, this prospect pool's number 1 prospect. In fact, I mean, even the guy that gets picked second is very likely to be the second best prospect on this roster, right? I mean, we're not looking at a ton of good players past. Not because the drafting has been bad, but because most of these guys have graduated already, right? I mean, Brady, you talk so much about Höglander not being a guy that was going to step up and needed to, and all he did was step up. We assumed Puck Colson's going to walk in right off the bat and play. And for me, I think that it's very possible that a high-end goaltender like Wallstead, goes in the top 10, possibly before 9, pushing some other players back down this draft list. Like it's, as we're sitting now, we got a chance of getting a guy like Chaz Lucians or Mason McTavish or Kent Johnson, maybe even a guy like Brant Clark.
So then I guess what you're trying to say is now you're looking at teams that are going on positional need, not necessarily BPA.
Right. I mean, but there's going to be somebody who's going to want a good goaltender for their system, right? And this guy, I mean, we think he's a blue chip prospect. He's a guy that's going to make it eventually. Goaltenders always take a little bit longer. But for me, I don't want to pass up on the opportunity to get a Clark or a Johnson or a McTavish. I mean, those are players that this system needs. I mean, if you're out of prospects in your prospect pool and the cupboard is getting damn near empty, like I know there's guys like Gadjevich and guys like Lind and stuff, but if on the whole, if A-level prospects are at the bottom of the rung, your talent pool is already contributing on your roster and you're still not a playoff team, you have to restock. We can't be trading this pick away for a player that's not going to necessarily help you in a few years.
And a chunk of those guys are, as you just mentioned, like they're going to be challenging for spots. So are they going to be the guys up in the box? Are they going to be everyday NHLers or at least everyday, not AHLers? They're going to be up in the box or in the lineup, one or the other.
They're going to be contributing.
Yeah, so they're not going to be in the AHL. Brady,
Sam Reinhardt's expensive too. Like I can't wrap my head around that.
What do you want them to do? What do you think? What do you want them to do? Do you want them to keep
bringing in Reinhardt is definitely intriguing. Like, I'm not going to say it's not. I mean, I think the forward group would definitely get better right off the bat. But I mean, Ted made some really good points. I mean, the prospect pool is pretty dead now that Pod Colson's probably making the jump instantly. I think whoever we draft, no matter what, instantly becomes our top prospect. And I think if you're trading for Reinhardt, you're pretty much saying, even though we're one of the worst teams in the league, kind of like when we traded for Toffoli when we really went for it there. I think you're really shortening your window, and you're kind of banking on, winning the cup, going from one of the bottom feeders in the league to winning the cup within a couple years. And I think if you go for the draft pick, you're not looking at 2 years from now. You're kind of looking at 3, 4, 5 years from now.
But you're securing your future at the same time. Not securing, but you're padding the or stocking the
just
and they
bringing in another $6 million is just sounds pretty difficult.
Well,
considering we're
gonna
yeah. And I mean, if you're able to get rid of the Eriksson contract completely, and even on top of that, a Beagle or Roussel, maybe you can start thinking about that. But until then, I just don't even think it's even worth even looking at.
So speaking of that, Chris Gear was on Sakaris and Price this week. I didn't catch that. I should probably download that podcast to listen to it. But he said they're going to be, and I don't know if this is smart to show your hand so early, but he did say that they were going to be talking to teams that were in a cap crunch, much like themselves, and that they were going to try to essentially weaponize cap space. Jason Botchford is like probably losing it right now, knowing it took this long to figure this out. But at the same time,
wait a minute, they're going to use their cap space to
they're going to use
go after teams.
They're going to use other teams' lack of cap
space.
Oh,
like they're going to use it against them.
Yeah,
yes,
like
it's genius.
It's clever. I know. It's almost like
why has nobody done that? That's That's such a smart plan, guys.
So I mean, to me, I know, like the amount of sarcasm, like you can cut the room in half here. I am interested.
I think it's a great idea.
All these things that are happening, like the Chris Gear thing, the fact that they're going to make, they signed the coach, they get the coaching staff, they have locked up Demko. They're doing things in a really weird way, but it's this really weird feeling. And I hate to say this. Did the Canucks just wake up overnight? Like, did they just realize we can actually do this better than we were doing? And now they're going to act like other good teams because they do have a good roster. But now are they going to start doing things that actually make sense that we can go, hey, that was a good move. Hey, that was very shrewd. That was clever. How did they pull that off? Like, I don't know what to think right now because the Canucks they might actually be progressing. I know that sounds like a weird word to say.
This is not progressive thinking. This is basic job function.
The thing is, it's never existed.
But now they're just starting to do basic job. But this is not progression. It might be progression, but it's getting them literally back to zero before they can start ascending.
The thing is, it's never happened. So to me, I'm excited because I'm thinking they figured out how to do work. They figured out how to do the job that was outlined in the job description, which is mind blowing. I just think maybe there is a chance that the Canucks can actually change their fortunes. Maybe not, but I mean, they're saying all the right things. Now, I guess the other thing is, did they maybe show their hand a little bit early and like, you start getting calls from the Canucks. Hey, are you calling because we have low cap numbers? Are you trying to expose us and try to get something for nothing? No. That was just an interview. That I was just flapping my gums. I'm just here to talk shop. Like maybe they showed their hand a little bit early.
Maybe this talk of Reinhart, like maybe it's where there's smoke, there's fire thing. So maybe they are actually looking into acquiring another, was it 5 mil? Did we say make 5.5 mil or something like that?
5.2.
So maybe they are looking at acquiring another 5+ mil, and they are very aware that they need to find a way to lock up Petey and Hughes. And maybe they're having these conversations about weaponizing cap space because maybe for the first time in a long time, they're looking at that probably means that they think they're actively going to be able to move one or two of these shitty contracts off the books.
And I think that's possible.
Well, I think it's possible. I don't know how on earth. Like, you got to find another GM who's willing to dance with you, who has similar problems, who thinks that the garbage you paid a lot of money for is worth something value in return.
There can't be only one idiot GM.
And they don't even have a lot of, Brady, what was the word that we've been using this past year already? We don't even have a lot of sweeteners to add at this point.
Yeah.
Really, not sweeteners that we'd want to get rid of. The sweetener that we did have in Jake Virtanen is looking,
well, that's out to the door.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
can't trade him right now.
Do we have Splenda? Do we have any Splenda?
There's no Splenda on this roster.
No Splenda.
Not Splenda that we want to get rid of.
No real sugar, no Splenda. This is a problem. This is a very big problem. So, Friedman, sorry, I'm looking at man, Brady, you're updating this, and my eyes are just getting wide. Maybe you want to take you throw down right now. What do you got?
I've been watching a little bit of Donnie and Dolly when I can, and I know that Friedman, talking about the Sedins, Sedins are going to sign with the Canucks, but we haven't really heard much. Elliot Friedman, the man in the hockey world, the rumors and all that, he would be shocked if they don't sign. Not much more news to bring in other than that, but it does look like they will be coming in at some capacity. It's just figuring out how and when that's going to happen. I think we kind of already know that, but I just wanted to put that out there and say, still expect them to be coming in and, probably before the season starts.
Do you expect more, Brady? Do you expect more from Daniel or from Henrik? Who's going to really excel on this job? Like, is there going to be one that's going to be kind of riding the coattails? Do you think? Like, maybe are we going to find out that like Daniel, like he's always late, like.
Yeah.
And maybe I know they kind of come in the same car anyway when they were playing together, but like Daniel, maybe he's like you, Brady, like, oh, I forgot my water. Just 1 second.
Exactly, right.
And like maybe Henrik just starts getting pissed, like, guys, do you really need both of us? Like, do you really?
Yeah.
I mean, I was a captain, he was assistant captain.
Finally just sick of each other, eh? I want to do this on my own.
I'm just saying, maybe there's more to it. Maybe we need to really look into this. But don't rush into the Sedins. You got time. They got nothing else to do. They got their racehorse. They've got what else have they got? They got their bikes. They can go ride around with they can go ride around with Trevor on the mountain bikes and such. So I don't know. I'm a little skeptical. Ted, did you guys saw this? I know you'd put this on Facebook, and I found this out on Twitter. Interesting news. I didn't know about this, but in Australia, it's a legal obligation that you have to.
You're randomly selected.
You're randomly selected for jury duty.
No, just jury duty.
Jury
duty. It's your randomly.
I had to read that like 8 times.
Wow, that looked really bad on camera.
Survivor. Yeah.
I kept reading it over and over again. I'm like, what's he trying to say here? Oh, didgeridoo. Total dad joke. Nice one, Ted. Nice one.
That wasn't mine.
What's coming next?
Mine. I stole it.
I found it and I thought it was very classic. And I
very clever.
Just an update on me driving around the backside of Home Depot. I haven't seen any motorbike tests lately or a truck unloading cars with a nice big ramp. So just to update, nobody has gone in 60 seconds on that ramp behind Home Depot. No one has died. That's just my update from the field. Carry on as you were. Boys, I think we're just past the hour here. What a day we had. Dave and Sarah Ayres on. Unbelievable little story that they're filming there.
Power couple.
Very, very cool. Just cool people. And you'll be checking them all out on Instagram. You'll be checking them on Twitter. I did forget to mention about our Summer Skates promo. We will make sure that we re-up on that. Make sure you guys are voting for the winner on that one. Again, send an email to, I think it's the official pp1podcast@gmail.com if you'd like to order a pair. And make sure that, have we sent a tweet for this week?
Not for this week, no.
We should probably get on that.
Yeah.
By Sunday, we need to have a winner. It's rapid fire lately. It's been pretty impressive. So make sure you're entering on that. Make sure you're getting your opportunity to win some pretty comfortable,
pretty good
slides. They're great. Brady, I know you're just clamoring for them. You can't wait, but that's okay. Things are going well out in the Burnaby, in the dungeon.
Oh, of course, yeah, man. Starting got the good summer job all lined up, so just been going through some orientation there. Gave my notice at the Canuck Way. I'll still be a contributor there, but with the new job coming on, and it's just going to be, just going to be working hard for that school money for next year. So
We should I should edit this. You work hard for your money. You work hard for your money. Guaranteed.
No, yeah, definitely gonna try to keep writing, but it's just definitely not gonna be 20, 25 articles a month now. So, which is nice.
That's a lot of articles a month. Yeah.
I wear
It's
like
too
3
many.
articles. I wear 3 articles of clothing, so writing 24 articles
A month. Wow.
Yeah, we don't. Our washing machine doesn't work all the time, so
yeah,
it's a joke. It does. I'm a homeowner. This has been great. Always the awkward ending. I love it. Absolutely great. Brady, any final things? Ted, any final things? No.
Camping this weekend.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So head up to the site on Thursday, and we can either drop the trailer off there, or we can just stay Thursday night.
Drop tray.
We paid, so I want to stay. So I want to stay. So we're gonna try to. I think the oldest one's got baseball on Thursday as well. So we're gonna do a baseball game, drop the trailer off, come back to the game, pick her up, and then head back to the campsite. So we'll see how it goes.
Interesting stuff. I took a midweek
Father's Day camp. Nice.
Yeah.
I took a midweek weekend off. I took tomorrow off, and I have Friday off, but I work Saturday. So I got the random 2-1 on 1. So it's gonna be an interesting week for me.
You should just talk to your boss about closing on Saturdays.
No, that's not funny at all.
Well, he doesn't listen, so it's fine.
That's fair. So on behalf of all of us, this has been fun. Remember, go check Dave and Sarah's. Make sure you're waiting on that movie. It's gonna be a blockbuster. It is gonna be the hit
I can't
movie.
wait.
News was broke on this podcast.
It was. People forget that. That's okay. That's
People
fine.
don't forget.
People don't forget. Exactly.
Don't forget.
So this is episode 95. It's an evening with the Ayres.
It's a nice night for an evening.
Nice night.
Yeah. Worst case, Ontario.
Jeez Louise. Oh my goodness. On behalf of Ted and Brady, 2 idiots beside me, I'm Ryan. This is the PP1 podcast. Peace the frick out.
Deuces.